What they're telling you in the news is not what happened. And if this is not something that you believe, it's time to stop being a sheep. They came in and they took control. There were trees standing and the buildings gone. This was a direct energy attack on the people and the place of Maui.
What Survivors of the Maui fire say that they received no warning and that the flames appeared so quickly that escape was difficult. Everything was suddenly in flames, and many found refuge in the ocean for hours while their homes burned to the ground and into the same powdery ash footprint we've seen in recent years. So far, it is estimated that nearly 1,000 people have died. Locals are worried this includes hundreds of children who were home due to school being canceled that day. Several people are reporting that the government is not only doing little to help, but they are blocking local efforts to do so and are not allowing local donations through, and that they are blocking life-saving medicine because it isn't federally approved.
Denying people access to bring in supplies, just supplies for people who live.
The government withholding every single one of our donations because we're not a part of FEMA and Red Cross. So none of this is eligible for giving out. Tell me why. I have no freaking clue.
The people of Maui are on their own for now, and aside from the federal government's bureaucratic failure, they have good reason to be suspicious. Just like what we saw 5 years ago in Paradise, California, there was nothing normal about these fires. Within a day of burning, it was like a bomb went off.
When you see the full extent of the destruction of the miner into the talking, it does appear like a bomb and fire went off, if I may. And all of those buildings virtually are going to have to be rebuilt. It will be a new line.
Local residents have been reporting bright flashes of light. One was captured by a home security camera that appears to have been the start of the Olinda fire. Many people are saying that it was directed energy weapons. We know that most major governments already have them, and during the California fires, online weather maps recorded what looks like a laser from above, striking an area just before it bursts into flames. In his research, Dennis Mills discovered that the incendiary aluminum and barium nanodust from chemtrails is most likely fueling the ferocity of today's so-called super wildfires. And on the day before the Maui fires broke out, locals were reporting a heavy overcast from chemtrailing that they'd never seen before. It's also interesting to note that the Maui police chief was the incident commander for the Las Vegas mass shooting in 2017. Lahaina is considered to be a historic and sacred land. It was the capital of the Kingdom of Hawaii before it was taken by the United States. It's been occupied by Native Hawaiians ever since, who are defiantly opposed to the mainland outsiders who have been buying up land with no respect for local culture. Not just BlackRock and Vanguard, but billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg, who owns more land on Kauai than what the government of Kauai owns, and Oprah Winfrey, who has bought over 1,000 acres of land in Hawaii, including a new 870 acres in Maui she just bought this spring. In 2018, the Paradise wildfires broke out exactly where the United Nations have plans to somehow make off-limits to humans. In that same year, a report on wildfire prevention was published that was focused on the exact same areas in Maui where the fires just broke out.
All the historic downtown, all of it is demolished and all the houses gone. But those commercial big box stores are still there.
Hawaii Governor Josh Green has been putting the World Economic Forum's Great Reset agenda ahead of Hawaiian interests. Just weeks before the fire, he unveiled an emergency proclamation on housing that eliminates the traditional Land Use Commission, allowing the government more leeway to build as they see fit, such as building 15-minute smart cities run by artificial intelligence, just like they've been planning to do in Hawaii for years.
At some point, I will make a major donation after all of the smoke and ashes have settled here, and we figure out what the rebuilding is going to look like. This is going to be a long and difficult process. You're going to see a lot of Phoenix stories rising from the ashes here.
kosher and historic homes are seen in the aftermath of deadly wildfires. The cars are all melted. Oh dear. What are they doing? Look at the tree, folks. Look at the tree. Unscathed. Where have we seen that before? I'm not gonna say anything. Picture. Deadly wildfires, right? Deadly wildfires. Very suspicious, folks. Very suspicious. On a place where it has very little trees, like in the residential areas, not like, I'm not talking about the forest areas, like this area. There's one tree here. How did this spread over here? Melt these cars and wheels, little wheels, folks. I don't know if you can see it here. The wheels all melted. And you know, I think these wheels melt at what, 2,000 degrees or something like that. Aluminum, steel wheels. Right, let's go to the next photo. Destroyed homes after the deadly wildfire. This tree, set of trees, made it. But yet, seems somehow these wildfires are selective. This house made it. This house didn't. These houses didn't. I guess the wildfire stopped and said, you know what? We don't have enough manpower to burn this down, so let's go to the next house after it. Right. Look at these trees. Are fine. Trees are fine. It's all the same BS, folks. Same BS.
I have been trapped in Lahaina for the last 4 days. And I experienced firsthand what was going on there. What I went through is not important. I need to get this message out. This was not a natural disaster. This was a direct energy attack on the people and the place of Maui. If you know what lives there, what descendants live there, you know why. And you know why it happened on 8/8. And if this is not something that you believe, it's time to stop being a sheep. They came in and they took control. There were trees standing and the buildings gone. This system, this weather system, came in from the mountains, from the east. That does not happen. They were not telling people anything. They were not letting people in to help. And they were letting people go in to get burned alive. There were people burning alive in the streets. There were people dead in the water. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of people that died. What they're telling you in the news is not true, and I lived it firsthand. I sat with the people. This is not to bring fear, this is to educate, because there is darkness that is being hidden. And soon people are going to see. I know now why Gaia sent me there, and I am going to use this platform. There was no warning. There was no nothing. Please boost this post. I want everybody to see this. I don't give a fuck about me. I want everybody to see this. What they're telling you in the news is not what happened.
on entend une personne qui assiste au tir dire « They are crazy », ils sont fous. C'est ce qu'on dit quand on est face à quelque chose qui est brutal et surprenant. Ce n'est pas ce qu'on dit quand on assiste à un incendie naturel.
What's going on in Maui? There is a lot to unpack, so try to keep up. Several wildfires have broken out on the island of Maui, creating mass devastation and destruction, most notably the town of Lahaina. This is not the people's fault, and our hearts go out to those affected. Why is Lahaina significant? It was once the capital of the Kingdom of Hawaii, prior to the forced U.S. annexation and the eventual move to Honolulu. Lahaina is filled with native property and business owners that have dug their heels in and have refused to sell their properties to conglomerates such as BlackRock, Vanguard, and Oprah. Unglobalized, prime oceanfront property still owned and managed by the natives. So what caused this destruction? Short answer, no one knows. All government agencies, local and federal, have vehemently stated that it is unknown. However, there are two competing theories online. 1. Environmental. The perfect combination of a major hurricane 200 miles off the southern shore of Maui, combined with northern pressure to create massive dryness and winds. Or 2. Diabolical. Something the conspiracy theorists call a DEW. Direct Energy Weapon. What? I had the same response, so I started Googling. The first article that pops up when you Google Maui DEW is from Newsweek. It starts like this. The devastating wildfires in Hawaii have brought a new conspiracy theory from climate change deniers who suggest that the destruction was orchestrated by the federal government's direct energy weapons. Ugh. Anytime a propaganda media article starts with conspiracy theory by climate change deniers, makes me want to believe it more. Next article, fact-checked. False. Wait, what? I thought the facts were unknown. But how can we rule out trending theories as impossible already? Joe Biden just announced that the federal government will provide aid to those that lost their homes. That means homeowners who lost their houses and properties can now loan money from the federal government at a low interest rate. Your super valuable property that is skyrocketing in value, you can now get a new mortgage, courtesy of Uncle Sam. There are also countless efforts by the people to send aid and support to the devastated areas. This would be great, except local residents are now saying that they are having difficulty delivering such aid, and only FEMA and Red Cross aid is being allowed in. Roadblocks everywhere. No one allowed in or out. And Maui is an island surrounded by water next to one of the largest U.S. military bases. Local residents are saying that they received no advanced warning and that they only evacuated once they saw the thick black smoke at their doors. Why was the federal response so slow on this matter, waiting until the fire had overtaken this area prior to action? I don't know what's going on in Maui. Our hearts go out to all those affected and we pray for your safety. But what I do know is that there are more questions than answers. And anytime that's the case, especially when global self-interest benefits and people suffer, well, you know,
Les survivants de l'incendie de Maui disent qu'ils n'ont reçu aucune alerte et que les flammes sont apparues si rapidement qu'il était difficile de s'échapper. Tous ces soldats embrasés et beaucoup ont trouvé refuge dans l'océan pendant des heures, tandis que leurs maisons brûlaient jusqu'au sol et se transformaient en la même empreinte de cendres poudreuses que celles que nous avons connues ces dernières années. Jusqu'à présent, on estime que près de 1000 personnes sont mortes. Les habitants s'inquiètent du fait que des centaines d'enfants sont restés à la maison en raison de l'annulation de l'école ce jour-là. Plusieurs personnes signalent que non seulement le gouvernement ne fait pas grand-chose pour aider, et de plus qu'il bloque les efforts locaux, qu'il n'autorise pas les contributions locales et qu'il bloque les médicaments qui sauvent des vies parce qu'ils ne sont pas approuvés par le gouvernement fédéral. Il refuse aux populations l'accès à l'approvisionnement pour que les gens puissent survivre. Un gouvernement qui bloque chacun de nos dons parce que nous ne faisons pas partie de la FEMA et de la Croix-Rouge. Rien de tout cela n'est donc éligible à la donation. Dites-moi pourquoi? Je n'en ai aucune foutue idée. Les habitants de Maui sont pour l'instant livrés à eux-mêmes, outre l'échec bureaucratique du gouvernement fédéral. Ils ont de bonnes raisons de se méfier. À l'instar de ce qui s'est passé il y a 5 ans à Paradise en Californie, ces incendies n'ont rien de normal. En l'espace d'une journée, c'est comme si une bombe avait explosé. Lorsque vous verrez l'étendue totale de la destruction de la ligne de démarcation du littoral, vous serez choqués. Cela vous choquera.
Yeah, that could have been computer graphic made. I don't know.
I mean, I would say most certainly computer graphic made.
Yes.
Maybe. But they're not just totally lone wolves because they're getting, and I don't think somebody setting some brush fire would explain this. I mean, every single building just falls.
We were fighting. We felt like we were winning. We were keeping it at bay, keeping it off of the properties. The water shut off. Even the firemen that were patrolling couldn't refill their trucks. The fire just grew. The sparks started blowing over and it just beat us in the end. I don't know, you're standing there with a hose and there's nothing coming out and you see the fire coming over and you see parts of your house starting to burn and you just feel you're kind of defeated at the moment. You're going, why? You know, we did everything and all we could think of was, we have no water, we can't do anything. Jump in our cars and skedaddle, get out of town. And then come back in the morning and see the place all burnt down.
He was concerned about his safety, and then as soon as I saw him in the car, like, he's home, that means that's not good. And he just suddenly lost the house. I was going to retire. I mean, I am retired, right? But now I got a new life. So I need a new journey, a bend in my road. Makes you want to cry, you know. I still love it. Still love it, and that's why they say, would you move to Honolulu? I mean, I could move to Honolulu, but it's the people and the climate. Like, it's beautiful up here. No, it'd be hard to leave.
Maui police
Continue.
blockaded escape
So I went
routes.
around back to Front Street, and there was all the cars were lined up, but none of them were moving. And I walked all the way from Safeway to the Chart House. Not one car had moved. And I was wondering what was stopping the traffic. Well, it was a policeman. And I got to the end, and I looked up north. There were no obstructions. There was no reason to keep those cars there.
Are you serious?
I'm serious as a heart attack. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm under orders to keep them here. And I said, the fire is right around Safeway. It's going to hit Front Street. You know, these people got to get out of here. And he said, I'm following orders.
No way.
And so I just kept walking. And I went, well, maybe you know something I don't, you know. So, and I keep walking down the highway, and I look behind, no cars are coming out. I walked all the way to Waikuli Beach, still no cars coming out. And I started hearing boom, boom, boom. And then I heard people screaming and stuff.
You're saying they were blockaded in by the police at the end of Front Street?
Yeah.
Like where that restaurant is?
Right, where the Chart House
Where the Chart House was, I should
Right.
say. There was a blockade there, and they could not go any further.
I walked all the way from Safeway to there, not one car had moved. And people walking in front of me, the people in the cars are saying, would you like a ride? And they go, oh, okay. And they'd get in. They asked me, I go, no, you better get out of here. You know, but they just, well, we were told to evacuate by car. Okay. So I just kept walking, and I got all the way to, like I said, the Civic Center. And then I started hearing all the explosions, and there was no one walking behind me or on bicycles or anything.